Preemptive is adjective, acting to take the place of something or someone, especially by having priority or priority rights. Made or taken in advance of an expected event or situation in order to prevent it from happening or to control its outcome. The preemptive strike prevented the enemy from attacking first. The company took preemptive measures to prevent a data breach. The preemptive apology was appreciated by the customers. The government issued a preemptive warning to the public about the impending storm. The preemptive action taken by the authorities prevented a major disaster. Involved is adjective, complex, intricate, or complicated in nature, having or requiring a lot of participation, effort, or attention. The project is very complex and involves many involved parties. The parents were very involved in their child's education. The investigation into the crime was very involved and took months to complete. The employee was involved in the decision-making process. The novel has a very involved plot. Base is adjective, not genuine or authentic, not morally respectable. Her argument was baseless, with no evidence to support her claims. His base instincts led him to make the wrong decision. The politician's remarks were base and offensive, causing widespread backlash. The movie was criticized for its base humor and crude jokes. The athlete's base level of fitness allowed him to easily complete the marathon. Appropriate as adjective, proper or suitable in the circumstances, fitting or right, suitable or fitting for a particular purpose, person, or situation. She wore an appropriate dress for the formal occasion. The music played at the funeral was appropriate and respectful. The book had appropriate content for children of all ages. The teacher selected an appropriate textbook for the course material. The company had an appropriate dress code for the workplace. Ambivalent as adjective, having mixed feelings or contradictory attitudes towards something or someone, simultaneously experiencing or displaying opposing emotions or attitudes. His ambivalent feelings towards the new job made it challenging to decide whether to accept the offer. She had an ambivalent attitude towards change, feeling both excitement and anxiety about it. The public's reaction to the controversial policy was ambivalent, with mixed opinions about its effectiveness. Her ambivalent emotions towards the decision were evident in her hesitant responses. He remained ambivalent about the proposal, torn between his desires and practicality. Entrenched as adjective, difficult to change due to being firmly established or deeply rooted. Firmly established, deeply rooted or ingrained, often referring to ideas, practices, or attitudes. The company's policies were deeply entrenched and resistant to change. His beliefs were so entrenched that he refused to consider alternative perspectives. The political ideologies became entrenched over generations, resisting modifications. The culture of the community was entrenched in tradition and history. The practices of the organization were deeply entrenched in its founding principles. Bumbling as adjective, behaving or acting in a clumsy, awkward, or inefficient manner, characterized by clumsiness or ineptitude in actions or speech. His bumbling attempts at fixing the machinery only made the situation worse. The bumbling waiter spilled drinks on several patrons during the evening rush. She made a bumbling effort to explain the complex topic, confusing her audience further. His bumbling mannerisms often led to awkward social interactions. The bumbling in turn struggled to complete tasks efficiently, often making errors. Indecorous as adjective, lacking good taste or propriety, unbecoming or inappropriate, not in keeping with what is considered to be socially or morally correct. His indecorous behavior at the formal dinner embarrassed his guests. The indecorous language used by the speaker was offensive to many. The indecorous clothing worn to the job interview was inappropriate. The indecorous jokes made during the meeting were not appreciated. The indecorous conduct of the politician tarnished his reputation. Macabre as adjective, involving or dealing with dark, disturbing, or horrifying subjects, often associated with death or the gruesome. Suggestive of the gruesome or the supernatural, evoking a sense of horror or unease. The horror movie had a macabre atmosphere, filled with eerie scenes. The abandoned house had a macabre history that intrigued many. Her artwork portrayed a macabre beauty, combining darkness and artistry. The story took a macabre turn, leaving readers chilled. The cemetery at night had a macabre ambience that sent shivers down the spine. Even-handed as adjective, fair, impartial, and unbiased, treating all parties, sides, or individuals equally and without favoritism. The judge was praised for being even-handed in his rulings. The manager was known for being even-handed and fair with all employees. The journalist's even-handed reporting earned him a reputation for being unbiased. The teacher was even-handed in her grading and treated all students equally. The mediator was able to resolve the conflict by taking an even-handed approach. Indigenous as adjective, native to a particular region or country, inherent to a particular place, originating, growing, or produced naturally in a particular region or environment. The indigenous people of the region have a rich cultural heritage. The plant is indigenous to this area and cannot be found anywhere else. The indigenous language of the tribe is in danger of becoming extinct. The indigenous art is highly valued in the art world. The indigenous customs and traditions are respected by many. Tempered as adjective, having a particular temperament, disposition, or character, treated or strengthened by heating and then cooling. The artist used a tempered palette to create a cohesive color scheme. The tempered glass was less likely to shatter upon impact. His tempered response showed that he was able to control his emotions. The chef used a tempered knife for precision cutting. The tempered steel was strong and durable. Untenable as adjective, incapable of being defended, supported, or maintained, especially due to being logically or morally unsound. Not capable of being upheld or sustained, typically due to being invalid or unsustainable. His argument became untenable once contradictory evidence emerged. The initial plan proved to be untenable due to unforeseen logistical issues. The candidate's promises seemed untenable given the current economic constraints. The company faced an untenable situation when its major investor withdrew support. Her position in the debate became increasingly untenable as she struggled to defend it. Veracious as adjective, conforming to facts or reality, not false or imaginary, speaking or representing the truth, truthful or accurate. The journalist's veracious reporting won her a Pulitzer Prize. His veracious memory made him a valuable witness in the trial. The scientist's veracious research contributed to a major breakthrough in the field. The historian's veracious account of the event was highly regarded by scholars. The detective's veracious testimony helped secure a conviction in the case. Aphoristic is adjective, expressed in the form of an aphorism, terse and pithy. In the form of an aphorism, a concise statement expressing a general truth or principle. Her writing style is very aphoristic, with each sentence containing a powerful and concise message. The speaker's delivery was aphoristic, leaving the audience with several memorable quotes and sayings. He had a talent for crafting aphoristic statements that were both witty and insightful. The book was filled with aphoristic observations about human nature and the human condition. The author's aphoristic prose was so powerful that it left a lasting impression on the reader. Chauvinist as adjective, showing excessive or biased loyalty or support to one's own gender, group, or country, often with a belief in its superiority over others. The chauvinist believed in male superiority and openly promoted such views. She confronted the chauvinist in the meeting who consistently undermined her contributions. The group distanced themselves from the known chauvinist in their social circle. His reputation as a chauvinist preceded him, making collaboration difficult. The company refused to hire known chauvinists due to their discriminatory attitudes. Elaborate as adjective, detailed and complex in design, composition, or structure. Intricate and complex in nature. The artist's elaborate painting was filled with intricate details. The host prepared an elaborate meal for her guests, complete with multiple courses and fancy dishes. The fashion designer's elaborate gown featured intricate beading and embroidery. The author's elaborate plot twist surprised readers at the end of the book. The movie's elaborate special effects brought the fictional world to life. Unpropitious as adjective, marked by an absence of favorable conditions or prospects, suggesting an unfortunate or adverse outcome, not indicating a favorable outcome, unfavorable or lacking promise, often describing circumstances or conditions that are not conducive to success. The stormy weather and dark clouds signaled an unpropitious start to the event. His decision to invest in the failing company seemed rather unpropitious given its financial state. The team faced an unpropitious beginning due to several key players being injured. The timing for launching the product seemed unpropitious given the economic downturn. Her mood became increasingly unpropitious as the day wore on. Unviable is adjective, not capable of working or being successful due to inherent flaws or impracticality. Not feasible or practical, especially in terms of being unable to succeed or function effectively. The project proposal was considered unviable due to insufficient funding. The business model appeared unviable in the competitive market. His suggestions were deemed unviable as they lacked practicality. The plan to expand the company seemed unviable considering the current market conditions. After careful analysis, they concluded that the idea was unviable in the long term. Ersatz as adjective, artificial or synthetic, usually intended to replace something genuine but lacking authenticity or quality, serving as a substitute or imitation, often of inferior quality compared to the original. The artist used ersatz materials to create a replica of the famous sculpture. His ersatz enthusiasm couldn't match the genuine passion of the original team. The cafe served ersatz coffee, lacking the rich flavor of the authentic blend. Her ersatz smile couldn't hide her disappointment with the substitute. The product claimed to be genuine leather, but was, in fact, ersatz. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.